Peace, love, and divine light. Welcome back to our channel, my channel, this channel. My name is Dr. Kepper L, and you are now tuned in to day 4 of the Raise Your Vibration series. Now, if you've been keeping track, we've gone through how to use the laws of vibration of the universe and also the law of oneness. But we've also talked about using gratitude, how to breathe and ground into energies that help raise your frequency, and how to use water to also raise your frequency. So we're today going to talk about grounding your energy. Right now, some of us have heard about grounding. It's taught in more of the yogic circles, the meditation circles, but it's a very, very, very important thing. It does not need to be consolidated to just that category of human beings. Something about grounding is we all need to do it, and we need to do it frequently, and we would probably have less of that hastiness, busyness that we feel overwhelmed with in our day-to-day lives. Now, grounding is a very profound thing that we can do to help elevate our vibration. However, that is not the only benefit of grounding. Grounding also helps us to reconnect to our source energy. It also helps us to connect to that mother energy that a lot of us are missing. Mother Earth being our basis and our foundation helps to give us a different and deeper connection to even ourselves and one another. That's a greater benefit of grounding. Now, when you begin to ground, you'll also find that you're reconnecting yourself. You are recovering energy. You are recuperating from things you've picked up in the haste of living in this very monstrously busy lifestyle that we've taken on. So now I think you understand that there's a bigger picture to grounding. Let's go into some tips and facts about that. First facts, then tips. Okay. So in our day-to-day fast-paced living, we find ourselves being weighed down by the heaviness of our own emotions, those around us, the busyness of things we have to remember and stay on top of. But if you took the time to do all the things that we've talked about, all the exercises prior to this video, and incorporate that inside of, let's say, a grounding ritual as you start your day and end your day, that can have a highly impactful effect on your living, your life, and your elevation. Now, the more that we actually tap into grounding and do it on a more frequent basis, not only is it going to help us, but it's going to help the whole network that is around us. Remember, we are separate universes, but we're all connected. We're all one. We're little cells inside of a bigger mega system, right? So the harmony of that is much more massive, obviously, than thought or in potential, right? So when you recognize that this frequency that we're tapping into when we're grounding, also known as the Schumann resonance frequency, I find that very interesting, by the way, because it's Schumann when it's spelled out. So it's like us. It's our human frequency resonance, something I just want to point out. But anyway, that frequency is something that has been studied by NASA and several scientists for decades. And they're still trying to understand it, comprehend it. But the thing is, they are missing some pieces, I believe, because they have not learned how to tap in to the human being. And that's the foreground before you can get into the resonance, right? But I can kind of go on a tangent a little too far with that. But I just want you to understand that it's so much deeper. The resonance frequency that Mother Earth gives off is to help us to stay into a tempo, but also raise inside of something and give us the support we need so that we can continue in this life. Now, when we're beginning to do more frequent grounding, it is something as simple as connecting to the grass and the ground beneath us, getting into nature, things of that nature, taking walks, going on hikes and trails. It's really just cutting and carving out the time to reconnect to that surge of energy. Actually, I should say not to the surge of energy, but to recall and activate that surge of energy, because it only happens when you actually intentionally connect. Now, your connection can be in many different forms. Like I said, you can walk in grass, you can sit on the ground. And although many of us are not really connected to grass and trees like we used to be, it's really important to get back to that. Hugging a tree, sitting under a tree, connecting to a tree, those are not things that are for a select group of people. They are meant for all of us to partake in. Now, if we go back to the movie Avatar, they were showing us this, connecting to the tree of life, aka the mother, aka source energy. It is not the only source energy, because we are made of several different forms of energy fields to create that one beingness. But when you recognize that movie, being a favorite of everyone's for a reason, nonetheless, it tells you a lot. Going back to that movie, and I definitely would implore anyone who is watching this to go and watch that and take note, because they were showing us so much more than we are understanding. Now, what I gathered from that movie was really showing us that when we actually intentionally connect, when they would take that part of them and plug in to Mother Earth, to the Mother Tree, what they were doing was activating a network, but also they were activating themselves. And if you notice, there was a lot of spiritual growth that came out of that connectivity. Now, the statement that I've spoken of several times, as above, so below, as within, so without, one of my most favorite. It's literally encoded inside of me. It's actually encoded in all of us, but it's something that I live by. When we lean more into that awareness and that understanding, we realize that Earth is really an existential part of us. It is, it supplies us everything that we need for our existence. So therefore, we need to learn that it is also there to support us through our grounding and releasing and reconnecting and recovery, because there is a healing element to grounding that a lot of people can account for and attest to if you kind of ask around to those who meditate. So now I want us to kind of jump forward into the practice of the day. Now, remember, I'm giving you very small, minute practices, but it's really completely up to you to immerse yourself inside of the practice that I'm providing you in the moment, but also re-watching the video for parts you may have missed and finding a way to incorporate it into your life. All right? So if you know the drill, let's go ahead and get a little grounded, feet planted to the ground. And don't forget the importance of breathing. If you missed that, definitely go back to the previous breathing session that we did. We'll still go over the facts now. So this time I want you to take a deep breath in with an intention that you're looking to learn more and connect to Mother Nature. So deep breath in. Filling up your chest and your stomach, and exhaling. Inhale with the intention. Hold that breath and breathe out gratitude. Now, with your feet planted, I want you to keep your eyes closed, and I want you to see your feet creating roots. Imagine that you have roots growing into the ground, and it is connecting to the source below us. Now, this is an easier way to do things, and you don't have to sit inside of a grassy field or grass-led area or inside of dirt. You can do this from anywhere, in your car, at your work seat. It doesn't matter where you are. It works, all right? Just allow your intentional imagination to lead you. So as we go back now, see the roots coming out of your feet and connecting into the earth. Remember to take a deep breath in with that intention. The intention to connect, understand, and ground with Mother Nature. And as you breathe out gratitude. And I want you to just kind of allow this connection, this ebb and flow of energy and breath and connectivity, just allow it to keep going. Give yourself about 2 to 3 minutes. And now I want you to start thinking about things that you need to release. Is it an emotion that you need to let go of? Is it a thought that maybe has been pinging around in your head all day that's kind of been giving you a bit of a headache? Is it a situation that you experienced? Whatever it may be for you, I want you to really intentionally release that energy. And taking it from your head, I want you to take a deep breath in. Remember your intention, and then gather those thoughts, and then breathe it out. But don't breathe it out through your mouth. Allow your breath out being still gratitude, but let that thought travel down your body and into your feet. Remember, you have gained the support of Mother Nature. Her roots are there to assist you. Send them down to the roots of earth. Now, for some of you, this may seem like you're doing a misdeed to the earth, but I want you to remember that the same way we have a connection to trees where we breathe out carbon monoxide and then the tree gives off what we need, the oxygen, the air that we need for our bodies to optimally exist. It's the same in this. It's a trade-off. I give, you receive, I receive, you give. Now, I want you to keep doing that for another 2 minutes. And remember to keep breathing. Remember to have your gratitude, breath, and remember to have your mental intention. Pause the video if you need. All right, how are you feeling? I'm hoping you're feeling as great as I'm feeling. I feel sustained, I feel supported, I feel full. And not full of what I was full of before, of the hastiness of creating content. Because trust me, it has its own weight. But I feel a little bit more at ease. Hopefully you're feeling some of the same, and this is why it's important for you to go back to that gratitude journal and start writing about that experience that you've had today. Now, there are several different kinds of ways that you can ground, and you'll find different ways along the way. But what we've talked about today and what I provided to you today is just the beginning of that journey. But I do hope that you make it a part of the bigger part of the spiritual processes and practices that you've taken up. And I greatly look forward to going to our next one. We're going to talk about the sun. The sun, of course, being one of my favorite parts of elevating, but we're going to go into some in-depth talks about that. So I look forward to that next session with you. My name is Dr. Kepra L., a doctor of divinity and doctor of metaphysics. And so my job and intention in this life is to help be the spiritual Sherpa that you need to help you walk through your spiritual awakening and step inside of your spiritual mastery and greatness. But I thank you again for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. It is really important for that share part because we are all going through a metaformation where we are learning how to activate ourselves so that we can be ready for the April shift on the eclipse day. So if you haven't tuned in and you don't know what I'm talking about, be sure to go back and check out the previous videos of this series. I look forward to sharing more with you, and as always, sending you lots of love, lots of high vibrations, hoping that you stay grounded inside of all of that and the more. Love to you always, Kepra L.